Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man, alright, today's video, finally, I'm gonna give you guys what you have been asking for. Alright? Constantly this question comes up. Ty, how much is this new DLC going to cost? Ty, how much is the Los Santos Tuner DLC gonna Ty, how much do I Ty, is this amount enough? Ty, do I have enough? Ty, why are you so sad? Anyway, listen. Yes, there is. Obviously, the question needs to be answered. How much do I think it's going to cost for this DLC? How much do you need to have saved up? Okay, we're going to talk about things that we already know. We're going to talk about some stuff that we maybe not have thought about, and put it all together and give you guys a couple of different price scenarios, some hypotheticals, the minimum amount that you're going to need, and then the maximum if you want to get everything. Okay? Before we get started, you guys know what to do. Make sure you are subscribed with bell notifications turned on so you don't miss out any future content that I upload. And you know what's going to be a big old banger, baby. Definitely drop a like on the video, okay? So, here we go. Now, we got vehicles. We have modifications to the vehicles, customization. We have clothes, a lot of different things going on. And I also think, I don't know for sure, but I also think that we're going to have a new garage that we'll be able to buy. Now, whether or not this garage is an existing one, Rockstar could just allow us to have a new property, or it could be tied into the actual DLC. Maybe buy a garage that's within this particular location, right? But a 10-car garage can be pretty cheap. You can get one for like under 100,000. You can get a 10-car garage apartment for about 200 grand. All right, so that shouldn't be too bad unless it's tied into the actual DLC and we have to buy one of those. That could be upwards of $1 million, right? But we'll talk about all that then. So based on what Rockstar does in the past, usually with a DLC, you have a property that you have to purchase, a business, and then that kind of is the prerequisite to everything. With this DLC, I don't think it's the case. What looks like the only prerequisite that you have to really worry about is the $50,000 for this, car club thing to get your reputation points and stuff like that. And 50 grand is nothing. It's just a couple of missions or VIP work or whatever. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think the bulk of the price for this DLC is going to come with the cars, clothing items, the modification and things like that. So we know that we've got 17 vehicles coming with this DLC. However, only 10 are dropping on July 20th. So you don't have to really worry about having enough money for all the cars. I know if you guys are like me, you're going to buy all the cars. You're going to buy, everything, right? That's just how I am. I like to get it all. It's new content. I want to check it out. Plus, making videos and talking about it. So there'll be clothes, there'll be tattoos, there'll be, modifications of the vehicles. There's going to be new cars. But I do think that Rockstar's still going to follow the formula of like a minimum entry door price and then like a maximum, right? So say there's just a few cars. Say you want the S2000. Say you want, the new Supra. Say you want the new ZR, 350 or whatever. Those are like the three cars you really want to have. I think that, and plus there's also a possibility. There's cars in there that we've already got in the game. The Obeys, right? The Futo, the GTX Futo, the Mustang, right? So these cars could be kind of like the Bennies or the Arena War, where you buy the regular car and then you convert it. There's a conversion price, and the price of the car itself is pretty cheap, right? But the conversion is where they get you. There's there's $1 million Benny's conversions, there's $1 million Arena War conversions, and then the modifications, to get like all the boosts for the Arena War vehicles, like the NOS boost, the shunt boost. That's like 800 grand. It's a lot of money. So I think the conversions could be pretty expensive, and if there is any, these could be just totally brand new vehicles. And then the modifications that go along can be really expensive. So let's talk about first day, right? Say you just want a couple of vehicles. I think on average, each one of these cars is based off what we already know, and I'm considering Arena War and Benny's vehicles in there as well. Most of the cars have a price range of 500 to upwards of $2 million, right? So in that sweet spot, if you take the 2 plus the 5, you add that up, you've got 2.5 million. Then you divide that by 2, and you have 1,250,000. So basically, what I'm saying is that I think that the average price for the vehicles coming out is going to be 1,250,000. I'm not saying every car is going to cost that. I'm saying that's going to be the average. There'll be vehicles that'll be cheaper. There'll be vehicles that'll be more expensive. Okay, I'm just basing this off of previous, information and what we already know that we get from Rockstar with their DLCs and their vehicles. Okay. Now, the customization. We know from customizing vehicles in GTA 5 Online for years that the customization ranges between like 300,000, and then for some vehicles like the Arena War vehicles and Benny's, I mean, you can spend upwards of $1 million, right? But I think on average, the customization for these vehicles would be roughly 500 grand. Okay, some, again, not every vehicle will be that. Some could be less, some could be more, just depending on what type of customization that we're getting. All right. So, you got cars that are going to be roughly, 1.25 million on average. Then you got 500,000. So you're looking at spending, between 1.5 and $2 million for these vehicles, on average for the, buying the vehicles and then customizing them out and getting them all set up and ready to go. Okay. So we know that we're getting 10 cars on day one. So let's just cut the difference. Let's say $1.5 million for the buying the vehicle and the customization, right? So I'm going to package it up and say 1.5 will be what we need per vehicle. So we got 10 cars dropping. So 10 times 1.5 is what? 15 million. Okay. So $15 million is what I think you'll need to have to buy all the cars and get them modded out, for the vehicles. Now we've got clothes, you got tattoos, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and drop another $2 million for clothes and tattoos. That's what I think an average could be. It could be less, could be a little bit more, but I think that's a fair. Some of the clothes for certain DLCs have cost like $3-4 million for everything, right? There's outfits that are like 190 grand, a couple hundred grand, right? So you could buy 5 outfits that have $1 million right there. But I think around $2 million would be good for the tattoos, for clothing. I think that's a very fair estimate right there. So let's go ahead and tack on 2. That's 17 million right there for day one on the DLC. Let's throw in a few extra. Let's throw in an extra million for miscellaneous stuff. 18 million, right? I think it's where we're going to be for day one, which isn't really that bad. Okay. Now let's add on the drip fed content. 7 more cars coming out. That's going to be another 10 million. So I think we're going to be at 28, roughly 28 to 30 million for everything for this DLC, which is on par. That's on par for pretty much the majority of the GTA 5 Online DLCs. What's the minimum, I think? Say you just want to get a couple of cars, you have a good time with it, chill. I think anywhere between 3 and 6 million, you'll be fine for the minimum. So I'd go ahead and just try and get 5 million bucks at the. And guys, if you're a brand new player, I get it. 5 million seems like a lot, but you can really easily get that built up. You just got to grind a little bit. If you're not a brand new player, if you're a day one, I mean, you should probably have tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and you don't even really have to worry about the money. You're good to go, right? But I think just getting started out, 3 to 6 million, just say 5, just to get you a couple of cars, have some fun, get them modded out. Day one, if you want everything, I think it's gonna be roughly about 17, 18 million. I think 17 would be a good number, and then for everything all together, between that 25 and $30 million range, and we'll be good to go. I think you'll be fine. So if you put that in perspective, that's basically 20 Cayo Perico heists. And you've got the money you need to have. You're set. You're fine. So that is my prediction. That's where we're going to be at. The garage, the car space, everything all together, all that miscellaneous stuff. I think you'll be fine. Total 25 to 30 million. Day one, roughly 17. Tack on another 10 for the other 7 cars. So I think we'll be right there in that range. I think that's a fair estimate and a fair guesstimation right there based on what we already know from previous content on GTA 5 Online. So there you guys have it. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You think we'll need more? You think we need less? Are you ready? Do you have enough money? I want to know in the comments down below, do you have at least $5 million for this DLC? I think that's the bare minimum you're going to want to have a little bit of fun with it. Who's got 30 million? I want to know in the comments down below. Let us find out what you guys are working with. All right. Thank you so much for coming out of the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the illest and realest content in the game. Smash that like button. See you guys in the next one. All right. Peace out. Yeah.